Hello, this is Learning and Teaching Interaction number 3. So Chapter 3, Principles and Program Evaluation. The process for making the program stronger by gathering information and what is working and what is not, and evaluating the needs of the clients for evaluation. Some of the main things that they talk about are goals and visions, and I felt like this is something that's taught to us from the beginning, at least for me since primary, about having goals and a vision to reach for the temple and what goals we can do to get there, and in young women's actually following those goals with certain objectives and that we followed through with. Same thing in just about any program, same as the Young Women's Program or the Personal Progress Program. We can see have a vision of what we want to accomplish and the bigger picture, and then set goals for the bigger picture, and then specific objectives that we need to do to obtain those goals. And then goes on and talks about evaluation. And to ask questions ask questions while creating the evaluation. Some of the things are like, what ways are participants ready to apply skills in their family? What are some ways the participants improved? What had the greatest impact on the participant, and what still needs to be improved? And have we met our objectives or goals? Francine Jacob talked about the 5-tier evaluation. And she talked about one, the pre-implementation tier, and it's a needs assessment to assess the needs of the participants from before they even start the program, and what they are looking for, where they're from, what is their culture like, and that sort of information. And then 2 is the accountability tier, and who is getting the service and who is providing the service and what is being provided. And then 3 is the clarification tier, feedback on how the program was provided. And 4 is progress towards certain objectives tier. Are we completing our objectives? Are we reaching our goals? Do we still have our vision in mind? And 5 is program impact tier. And this usually requires more of an analysis and studies and longitude studies, and come up with conclusions on how the program's working. Edward Schumann, he came up with the logic model. And this is a description of priorities, specific inputs, outputs, or activities, outcomes, or impacts. Interviewing participants for a third party can bring great insight to the needs and growth of any evaluation program. The one thing that came to my mind about this is, it seems that in these days especially, and maybe it's because where I live right now, is the culture consideration. I know that in just my apartment complex, in the little, just my pod, we have people from Middle East, we have people from South America, we have people from Africa, we have people who are white, we have a whole plethora of different cultures just in my little courtyard of 15 different apartments. And so sometimes we need to take into cultural considerations as well as religious considerations when we plan evaluations. Appendix E talks about ethics and family education, and how we need to have a standards, because educators have the possibility to do harm if they do not know what they're doing, and if they step further beyond what their abilities are. Some principles and guidelines. Relational ethics. What is my relationship, and what principles do I use to maintain a professional relationship? The principles approach, ideal level of approach to the participants, and virtue ethics, the characteristics of a good family life educator, caring, hope, and wisdom. The objective of family life education is to enrich and improve the quality of education and family life by providing knowledge and skills needed for effective family living. A family life educator emphasizes processes to enable people to develop into healthy adults and to realize their potential. Family life education helps people to work together in close relationships and facilitates the ability of people to function effectively in their personal lives and as members of society. While various professionals assist families, it is the family life educator who incorporates a family systems preventative and educational approach to individual and family issues. And that was from Duncan et al. 2010. The boundaries between parent and family education and family therapy by William Doherty. In this one, it talks about the difference between an educator and a therapist. He puts it into 5 different levels. Level 1, programs that the participant are involved in for practical or legal reasons. This may be outside the realm of a family life educator. Number 2, information and instruction between the educator and the family. This is more in line with the typical family life educator and minimal amount of education required. Number 3 is a little bit a step above, support for the participant and how they feel towards their personal experiences. This starts getting into feelings, and it could go into a greater expectancy of counseling or therapy, and so this is where you need to be careful. And 4 is intervention and assessment of high-risk families. This is kind of the top of the limit of family life educator and requires additional education. Number 5 tier is the family therapy, which is extended sessions of family counseling and is outside the family life educator realm and requires graduate education. Some of the training that one can receive, most students receive education for level 2, but do not have the experience of group process skills and personal development required for level 3. To be proficient in level 3, one must have had courses on family system, family stress, and group processes through graduate studies or in service training. One must also be well supervised under a trained professional. And level 4 can be gained in hands-on work under supervision of level 4 family life educator or a family life therapist. It is essential, though, to have ongoing training and consultation with a trained family life educator or a family life therapist, which is level 5 tier. And that's all I have for today. Thank you.